Beauty pageants. Always so fascinating. On one hand, you have this celebration of beauty confidence talent, but then on the other hand, there's always this debate about what even is beauty and who gets to decide.
It's true.
And that's actually exactly what we're going to be diving into today. You sent us this article about Miss Universe Philippines 2024, Chelsea Manalo, and it's gotten pretty controversial.
Oh, yeah, this is a big one.
So Chelsea just competed in the Miss Universe pageant, right? And she placed in the top 30. She got the title of Miss Universe Asia. You'd think everyone back home would be ecstatic.
Yeah, you would think so.
But not everyone is singing her praises.
Yeah, I mean, so there's this Filipino online content creator named Adam Janado, and he's publicly criticized Manalo's performance.
Really?
Yeah, and he's even gone so far as to say that other contestants would have done better on the world stage.
Wow. Who's he saying would have done better?
So he specifically mentioned Atisa Manalo, who was Chelsea's runner-up, and Krista McGarry, the fourth runner-up.
Okay.
And his reasoning...
Yeah, why them?
They fit this more Barbie-like aesthetic, similar to the Miss Universe winner from Denmark.
So it's important to understand, I think, before we go any further, Janado isn't just some random commentator. He actually has media accreditation with the Miss Universe Philippines organization.
He does.
So his opinions carry a bit more weight, which is probably why his comments have caused such a stir.
Yeah, you can imagine.
So it begs a lot of questions like, what does this say about Filipino beauty standards? And then what responsibilities do online influencers have when they're considered these, like, insiders? Yeah. I don't know. I'm eager to get your take on this whole situation. What do you think?
Well, this controversy really highlights how complex beauty pageants are, especially, in a globalized world.
Oh, yeah.
On the surface, it seems like Janado is just sharing his opinion, but when we actually examine his comments closer, they raise some significant concerns.
I'm all ears. What stands out to you as particularly problematic?
Well, for starters, his criteria. By suggesting that a Barbie-like appearance is the key to success at Miss Universe, he's overlooking the fact that the competition has evolved to encompass so much more than just physical attributes.
Right. It's not the 1950s anymore.
Exactly. The Miss Universe organization has made a very conscious effort to highlight contestants' intelligence, eloquence, advocacy, and their ability to represent their countries on this global platform. And Janado's comments seem to disregard all of that.
It's like saying the only thing that matters in a presidential election is how good the candidates look on camera.
Precisely. It oversimplifies a nuanced situation. And reducing these women's worth to their resemblance to a doll perpetuates a very narrow and potentially harmful standard of beauty.
Yeah.
And that's really, I think, at the heart of this controversy.
Absolutely. It's not just about the contestants, though, right?
Yeah.
This also brings up, like, the role of the Miss Universe Philippines organization in all the, they granted Janado media accreditation.
Yeah.
So to some extent, they've given him this platform to share his views.
It's a really crucial point, and to their credit, the Miss Universe Philippines organization, MUPH, has taken a very firm stance against Janado's statements.
Oh, wow.
They swiftly condemned his comments, calling them unfair, insensitive, hurtful, and dismissive of Manalo's accomplishments.
Wow, they didn't hold back.
Not at all. And they went even further. They explicitly called out bullying and what they called irresponsible vlogging, especially coming from someone who is a media partner.
So they're not just defending Chelsea. It's like they're sending this message about appropriate online conduct. It's like saying, this isn't how we do things in the pageant world.
Exactly. And I think that's particularly significant given the current climate online.
Oh, yeah.
We're seeing more and more negativity and hate speech, and it's often dismissed as just someone's opinion.
Totally.
But MUPH is drawing a line in the sand, making it clear that certain types of commentary are simply unacceptable.
And this isn't just about pageants, right? This applies to any online community.
Absolutely. This situation with Janado is a microcosm of a much larger issue. It raises questions about how we engage in online discourse, the responsibility we have to be mindful of our words, and the role of organizations and platforms in moderating content.
Speaking of challenging those standards, it's interesting to see how others involved in the pageant world have reacted to this controversy.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. Kristen McGarry, one of the women Janado suggested would done better, actually came out in strong support of Manalo.
Oh, wow.
She said people should stop focusing on these would-have, could-have scenarios and recognize Chelsea as the history-making queen she is.
That's so powerful. It shows a real sense of solidarity among these contestants. And I think it also reinforces that idea that there isn't one singular definition of beauty or success.
Right, and this support extends beyond the contestants themselves. Even Seven Barreto, a well-known photographer who works with Manalo, publicly criticized Donato for invalidating her achievements.
Wow.
There's a clear sense that many in the pageant community are rallying around Chelsea and pushing back against Donato's narrow perspective.
It's almost like they're saying, we won't let your negativity define us or dictate how we view beauty.
Precisely. They're choosing to celebrate diversity and inclusivity, and that's a powerful message to send, especially to young people who may be influenced by these opinions.
For sure, and there's another layer to this story. Donato has since issued an emotional apology for his comment. He acknowledges that his words were hurtful and claims he was caught up in the heat of the moment.
This adds another dimension to the conversation. It forces us to consider whether a sincere apology can mitigate the harm caused by hurtful words, especially when those words are amplified on a public platform.
Yeah, it makes you think, does accepting Donato's apology change your perception of him or the situation?
Yeah.
It's not an easy answer, and there's no right or wrong response.
Exactly. It's about individual reflection and understanding the complexities of online discourse. This isn't a simple case of good versus bad. There are nuances to consider.
And it's also about how we hold each other accountable while recognizing that people can learn and grow from their mistakes.
I couldn't have said it better myself. The situation with Donato isn't an isolated incident.
Yeah.
It reflects a broader trend of online commentary that can be both empowering and destructive.
Definitely. It reminds us that the internet is a powerful tool, and we need to wield it responsibly. But before we go too far down that road, I think it's time to shift gears a bit and explore some of the deeper implications of this controversy. This whole situation with Chelsea Manalo and Adam Donato has really made me think about how beauty standards, especially in a country like the Philippines, are constantly evolving.
It is fascinating, right? The Philippines has this unique history shaped by so many cultural influences.
Oh, yeah.
From Spanish colonialism to American pop culture.
Right.
And all of those influences have over time shaped perceptions of beauty in Filipino society.
Right. And those perceptions aren't static. They're always being challenged.
Yeah, exactly. And what we're seeing with this controversy is this kind of clash between traditional beauty standards and these more progressive and inclusive views.
Yeah.
And, Donato's comments, while they're problematic, reflect a perspective that sadly still resonates with some people.
It's like he's holding on to this outdated idea of what it means to be beautiful.
Right.
One that prioritizes a very, Eurocentric look.
Precisely, and that's where things get really interesting. The Miss Universe competition itself is undergoing a transformation.
Oh, yeah. How so?
They're moving away from emphasizing just physical attributes and placing more value on intelligence, advocacy, leadership qualities.
So you have this international competition trying to broaden its definition of beauty, but then you have segments of the audience who are still stuck in the past.
It does create this tension, and it's playing out in real time with this controversy.
Yeah.
On one hand, you have Chelsea Manalo, who's this departure from that traditional Barbie-like ideal achieving success on the world stage. And on the other hand, you have Donato's comments, which reveal this resistance to this shift in perspective.
It's like society's trying to catch up with the evolving nature of these competitions.
Exactly. And this underscores the power of platforms like Miss Universe. They have the potential to challenge those outdated norms and redefine beauty on a global scale.
But it's not just about the pageants, right? It's about how we as individuals engage with these evolving standards. What can we even do to foster a more inclusive and accepting view of beauty, both online and offline?
That's the million-dollar question, and I think it starts with awareness. We need to recognize that beauty is subjective, and what one person finds attractive, another may not.
Yeah.
It's about appreciating diversity and celebrating the uniqueness of each individual.
It's also about being mindful of the language we use, right? Avoiding labels or generalizations that perpetuate harmful stereotypes.
Absolutely, and when we see those stereotypes being reinforced, whether online or in everyday conversations, it's important to speak up and challenge those notions.
So this deep dive wasn't just about a beauty pageant controversy. It was about this complex interplay of history, culture, and evolving standards of beauty. And most importantly, it was a reminder that we all have a role to play in shaping a more inclusive and accepting world.
You've said it perfectly. We can't simply be passive observers in this evolution.
Yeah.
We need to actively participate in shaping a future where beauty is celebrated in all its diverse forms.
But what a thought-provoking conversation. We've covered a lot of ground today. From the specifics of this controversy to the broader implications for how we view and discuss beauty.
It's been a good one.
I hope you, our listener, found this deep dive as insightful as we did. Remember, your voice matters. Be kind. Be mindful, and be the change you want to see